Fuck that. I had a house full of women here yesterday, bro. I gotta go hard.
Trying to make up for all the estrogen in you.
Too long sitting there silent.
Oh, I'm gonna send y'all the video, bro. They was loud as hell. I was upstairs and I wasn't playing around with that. When my uncle left, that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best thing to do. When there's a house full of women, just stay the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell.
Did he start talking about that protecting the black woman thing?
I did not mention that.
Oh, nigga, that was a perfect opportunity to ask that question.
Yo, it was like 8 of them, and they was tipsy.
And, nigga, you was scared for dialogue?
Scared for dialogue.
See, you proving that the male power is a myth. You ain't even got power in your own household. Women come in and take over.
It's 8 against 1.
It doesn't matter, nigga.
It's 8 against 1.
That's when you're supposed to really go in.
That's when you're supposed to go in.
Hold up.
Stand in your square, nigga.
So they down there. So they all down there talking about how
niggas ain't shit.
Nails or whatever. I was gonna say niggas ain't shit, but they all talking about nails and shit. I was supposed to jump in, but so I'm reading this book.
Nah.
Nah. They was tipsy as hell.
What you do is they talking about nails.
Yeah, you was supposed to jump in. So I'm reading this book.
I already tried that shit with her sister. Michelle was mad as hell because they was leaving. And I mentioned the book to her sister. Her sister was trying to stay and talk about it. And the show's like, come on, I'm trying to take her home. But they all on that. We living in a patriarchy.
But you know what? I ain't gonna find. As I was reading this book, man, me personally, I would love to have a female or two perspective alongside reading this book.
Yeah, but they gotta they gotta read along with it though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
No, see, because they're not trying to hear it and understand it objectively. They're trying to rebut it, and it's like every female I've come across so far, other than my wife, has been trying to rebut it. My little sister, one of my clients, hell, even my therapist was trying to rebut the shit. I'm like, yo, real talk.
Word?
The problem right here, that y'all just want it to be a one-way street.
How about
that's been
Schubert, you better be telling your therapist how us being in your life has made you a better person. Fuck that, I'm taking all the credit. This nigga was lost before I came.
You selfish ass nigga.
Lost.
Smith, what you over there folding, bro?
Look like laundry.
I'm packing some gifts, man.
Oh, you packing gifts?
Yeah, my niece and my nephew birthday is at 12 o'clock, so
I'm
putting their gifts together. I'm multitasking, gentlemen. I'm trying to do more than one.
I ain't mad at that.
Stay on that non-drifter.
All we see is my man's eyes and eyebrows.
My eyebrows.
All right, Brad, where we at?
All right, well, first and foremost, rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Wakanda forever.
Wakanda forever. That shit took me off guard, but,
Yeah, me too.
Say that again?
I said that took me off guard,
No. You said rest in peace.
Yeah,
Chadwick
Boseman, Wakanda.
My man died.
Jackie Robinson.
Prince T'Challa. 2 days ago.
2 days ago. He had colon cancer for the past 4 years.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. I didn't know.
Oh,
yeah.
Listen, don't look at me like that. I don't stay connected to.
My man go off grid.
It's aggravating. I stay off the grid. I figure if it's important, I'm on my 4-hour work week. If it's important, somebody will bring it up to you.
Okay, Tim Ferriss.
Hey, you know what? What I was kind of impressed at, the NBA actually gave him a little shout out yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
Mm-hmm.
They did.
Sure did.
Yeah, that was rather, because he's not an NBA athlete.
Nah.
Black Panther was big in the community, man.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And he was a big NBA fan, too. So.
Yeah, even in the NBA, they was scoring, and you see, you see players doing the W and shit,
Yeah,
I would say this, man. If anything, this just highlight that, we got to take our health seriously. And, we get to, this point in our life. We're all in our 30s and 40s, man. We got to make sure that we do these annual checkups and eat right and do the best we can. You know, just makes me think of what Smith was talking about. One of the powers he wished he had was to disseminate herbal medicine or some shit like that. What was that power usually? Yeah, man. Shit. That shit is true, bro. Like, you know, it's just like we spend so much time talking about breast cancer awareness. I feel like, you know, colon cancer and what is it? Prostate cancer? Yeah. You know, don't get a much.
Pancreas. Oh, you're talking about pancreatic cancer.
Pancreatic, that's what it is. Doesn't get enough highlight. We don't necessarily talk about it as much. So, I don't know. Just wanted to share that.
Well, I know Chu gave me a hard time when I couldn't work out with him 2 weeks ago because I had to go to the doctor. Good thing I went.
All right, fellas. All right, so in no particular order, I hope everyone got the questions. Do I need to read them out loud, or do we want to just look at the questions and just pick whatever one?
However you want to tackle it. However you want, you take the lead.
Yeah, you want to tackle it, man. All
right. Hold up. Do you want to hit up this issue that you were talking about?
Nah, let's do that last.
Before after?
We'll do that after.
We do that last, because I ain't going front, bro. These 7 questions might take up a little bit more than an hour and a half, but an hour easily.
All right, let's see what happens.
All right, so let's go with. I like shoes. Let's go with question number 4. Would you, as a male, feel comfortable with traditional roles with a woman?
If it was switched?
Yeah, if it was switched. Women being the provider and protector, and men as the homemaker.
So when I was asking that question, right, here what my thought frame was. Women always complain about this bullshit of, you know, the dollar versus 77 cents. And my perspective is this. You can have the motherfucking dollar. I'll take the 77 cents if it means I ain't got to put my life on the line for no woman. I ain't got to, you know, pay at the dinner table or anywhere else to go out. If it means that I could be the one to chill when, you know, there's any type of discomfort or any, like, oh, it's raining outside. You got to go get the car while I wait here. Or, you know, or there's a rat in the house. You got to go get the rat, you know, whatever the case is. If you're going to take all of the anguish and discomfort, I'll give you that 33 cents. You can have that shit. You can have it.
Yeah. I side with you on that, man. Like, I'll take the homemaker role, because chapter 4 was very illuminating in a sense where he was talking about the top 25, I believe, hazardous jobs, and like 99% of them are male occupied, and like the death rate associated with those hazardous jobs. Man, it's just like, yo, as men, there's no real, you know, satisfaction in hearing those sort of goddamn statistics and knowing that, you know, your job is a hazard. So yeah, if I gotta make, like you said, you know, 70 cents to the dollar, and my safety is intact, then yeah, I'll switch roles in a heartbeat.
Yeah, even a garbage man ain't safe.
Yeah, yo, dude, even that breakdown of the garbage man, like I kind of knew, but like,
I never thought about that shit. Like, get hit by a car.
Yeah,
hazardous materials.
Hazardous materials and shit. Like my man had what, battery acid, biohazard splashed on him.
Boy got caught on fire. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of think that I would be willing to make that switch. I just don't know. Like, I don't know what it's like from the female perspective as far as like all of the tribulate. Well, you know what? No, I'd have to make that switch, because it ain't like I would be a fucking woman. I'd still be a man. So hell yeah.
I'm thinking on the side of it. I'll make the switch. You know.
Yeah.
I would definitely make that switch in a heartbeat. I actually like to cook. I like to find recipes.
Hell, I just did the laundry this morning.
Heartbeat. But I would like for the females to, you know how we were saying that the males were doing all the hazardous jobs and doing hazardous jobs, but creating things to make the females' life easier.
Yeah.
But creating things to make their job easier. So I would like the female to do that same thing. Make my life easier as I stay at home. Homemaker. I wouldn't mind taking care of the kids.
Yeah, see, I feel like
kids are not always home. That's some crap bullshit, bro. Like I've seen that play out. Kids are not
exactly. Yeah.
Word up.
Yeah.
And-
like in modern society, yeah, like they're not even home raising these kids for the vast majority of their life.
Well, shit, the kids ain't even home because they going to school.
Yeah.
But I just thinking about that whole like Dave Ramsey, whatever. Even with the callers who come in and they ask, you know, what's your household income or whatever. Even when you have like the stay-at-home moms, they're still a part of like the monthly budget and budgeting going over all that. So it's not like whoever goes to work is in charge of all of the money and the other people gotta, you know, basically do what they say. So yeah, I would stay home because it's like, yo, you right. I could cook and clean. It's like I'll wake up in the morning, get my kid ready for school, make sure you got your lunch, make sure your shit is packed, and then I'm chilling. Like I'm marinating my meats, no homo, and then I'm making sure that all of my shit is ready. It's ready by the time. And you probably ain't getting home till like 5 or 6. I'm chilling, going to the gym.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm chilling. I'm drinking wine in the middle of the day with my homeboys.
I'm reading Oprah's top list.
Yeah.
It's like Kel, you said before. You said, you know, if Shell wanted to do the stay-at-home thing, you wouldn't mind that. But when you got home, you wouldn't be responsible for doing shit.
Nothing. Period.
Like because she would be at home all day, that she would have to take care of everything. And not to ask you to stop at this store to pick up milk that she forgot. You wouldn't be doing shit.
I ain't doing nothing. Only cooking I'm doing is the grill.
Yeah, so I wouldn't mind being that homemaker. I'm sorry, I'm a different kind of dude. I wouldn't mind being that.
Yeah, my same situation that Kel's in. You know, my wife, she wants to retire within the next decade, and I'm willing to work on for however long. You know, but yeah, like if you were to really assess, you know, the balance of that, man, yeah, it's pretty easy to stay at home and make sure the home is pretty much in good order.
Yeah, I think that's pretty easy. I don't want to downplay any females in their job that they do at home, but I think that shit is pretty easy, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not downplaying nothing. I'm calling facts of what it is. Me personally, I would rather be at home where it's like, all right, I got a schedule. Monday, I clean the living room. Tuesday, I clean the dining room. Wednesday, I clean the kitchen. Like in each room, how long it take you? An hour and a half, if that. Like you said, send the kids off to school, make breakfast, lunch, dinner. Like it's not that hard of a struggle. It's really not.
My day would be done.
You're not scrubbing. You're tidying. You're not.
Yeah.
Now, would their job be more difficult if they were homeschooling?
While you're going to work and
like I know we're talking
and stress and aggravation and getting pulled over by the cops because you was rushing to get to work, this, that, and the other. No, I'll stay home and
You were still homeschooled too?
Would you homeschool?
But you know, though, Cash, that's not even.
Now.
I'm about to say that's not even a situation, bro. Because in normal life, ain't nobody homeschooling. Let me answer this question.
I'm just saying, just to add on the complexity to being a homemaker.
I would, nigga, because I was a teacher, and y'all kids come over, and I charge y'all to teach y'all kids.
No, I'm good.
Let me ask y'all this one though. Knowing what y'all, because for me, I'm gonna wake up, get all that shit done. I'm done by 11, and then I'm still looking for some type of hustle or something, or start a business or something.
You're different, bro. You're thinking with a male perspective.
Yeah, once again, we're not talking about.
Y'all would fall back. Y'all cool with just falling back and not doing nothing.
I'm embodying everything a woman would do.
But now, Henry, you gotta flip it. Nowadays, the females, they do stay home and they do have another hustle. They cooking, they selling food and things like that. So you can still have a hustle.
Yeah.
You could be on the internet making money on the internet. You know what I mean? Like, it's not to say that you can't do anything at home, but are you willing to stay home?
Yeah.
Like, home is what you make it. And in the essence, it sounds a little cliche, but it really is what you make it. You can be home and have a job and still tend to the house.
Yeah. Listen, I'll be like that. One of my clients who's a stay-at-home mom, and she's a Zumba instructor, all right? So she's getting her gym on while she's, make a little side cash. Win-win-win.
Yeah.
Win-win-win.
Not for nothing. I felt like a stay-at-home dad during COVID. Like I did some work at home, but other than that, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right,
I think that should lead into the next question, right?
Well, the next question I had in mind was what Smith mentioned in regards of the life expectancy. Just because what was glaring with the earlier of the 19th century to now, how technology basically created this large gap in life expectancy. So I think, like, is it safe to say that men are more selfless when it comes to progressing society forward?
Yes. Yo, I'm sorry, man. If you take childbirth off the table, I'm trying to think about like what sacrifice is like what major sacrifice.
No, I don't count childbirth.
Modern day, like what major
you don't even count childbirth.
I don't count childbirth because you don't volunteer for childbirth. It's mandatory when you're born. It's like you being born a male, you have no option in who's carrying the baby. Now, if you're in a lesbian relationship, then there's a sacrifice. Hey, either one of us could do it.
Mm-hmm.
But in a male-female relationship, it's not a sacrifice. That's like me asking for credit because I'm the taller person in the room and reaching the top shelf.
But dude, like when I think about
that's not a fair argument.
The death rate in childbearing,
I think that's a sacrifice, you.
Yeah,
it is. And it's a choice that you make. It's not something that you have to do.
It's not something you have to do.
Yeah, absolutely. But 9 out of 10 times, the female wants to do it. 9 out of 10 times, the female wants to do it, even in lesbian relationships. Number one, and then number two, you're not volunteering. Once again, you're not volunteering.
Yeah, but sure, when you think about but when you think about the expectations that society puts on, just like they're saying that the male is expected to be the provider and the sacrifice, whatever, the woman is, and it's not mandatory that he does it, but society is saying this is what we're expecting you to do. It's the same thing with the woman.
Society is saying it.
Yeah, but society is saying that a woman's supposed to be having kids, not because a man can have one, but if a woman says that I don't want to have a kid, people be looking like, yo, what's going on? You need to have a kid. You should.
What's wrong with you?
Well, well, I'm not talking about society as far as that. I'm talking about the biological function. Too many women always want to say, we have the kids. It's like, who else is going to have them?
Shoot, real quick, hold on. I'm going to let you finish your thought, but my wife is about to walk in with her mother and her sister.
God damn, you are showing your fucking panties right now.
You didn't even let me finish my sentence.
But you whispering.
I was going to say I was about to turn up.
All right,
Here's some power. Bitch of Kelvin on the cover.
No, but here's the thing. But what I'm saying is, I'm not saying that it's safe. I'm not saying that it's easy. I'm not saying any of those things. All I'm saying is that you can't sit there and claim victim to something that you are biologically, have the advantage on.
Yes,
I mean, like I can't sit there and tell my wife, like, oh, it's not fair. I got to carry the heaviest thing when I am 3 times her strength by nature. You know what I mean? It's not a fair argument. Now,
I don't know, man. The very act of delivering a child, man, and you think about the risk involved in that is just, that's their one.
But here's the thing. And that argument will hold true if you were talking 1820 when we didn't have the medical science that we have nowadays, where people are, the chances of death, the death rate has been dramatically dropped off.
I can see.
So the whole thing is, if anything, it's just more physically demanding, but the death rate is not that high.
It's not, and basically with the technology and these events that we have, you can go and find out if you're at risk
a
for
Down syndrome child within the first couple of weeks.
Exactly, they'll let you know, and they'll tell you basically, okay, so you can't carry the child, you can still have it, but somebody else has to carry it. So
So the threat part has been diminished tremendously. So once again, not the huge sacrifice other than the physical stress. I totally understand and respect the physical stress, but the reality is you can't sit there and say, oh, you're the one that's taking on this burden that I can't possibly take on. You can't throw that in my face.
Yeah, but I still feel like it's a choice.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It is a choice.
It is a choice.
Well, just like the male has the choice to say, okay, well, I'm going to say what society says I have to be as far as the provider and the protector. So, like, we don't have to do that. You don't have to carry the bags, no matter how big you are. Chill. I just squatted in box jumps and almost bust my behind 3 times. I had Kel laugh at me. My legs hurt. You got to help me carry half of these bags. Like, yo, it's not like you can't. You ain't got no arms. You might take 5 trips where it might just take me 1, but you can still take them trips.
Yeah, maybe you could take them trips, but we're not talking about like, all right, so being more clear, meaning the fact of, how should I put this? It's not a matter, like even the book said, a woman can make a choice today to have 0 kids or 20 kids. She has every option to do that. A man in the room with a woman and somebody comes in,
there's an
psycho
expectancy
with a gun, and says somebody has to die.
Yeah.
Who has that choice?
Yeah, there's an expectancy for the man to be that protector.
Yeah,
Who has that choice?
but the
You have
man's
0 choice.
Yeah.
yes, you do. You do have a choice. It don't matter what's
Okay.
But you then are frowned upon in society with making that
And
wrong.
then you're frowned upon in society, and to the point where your value as a man has been diminished so much.
But I still feel like
You have a choice, but I think you're missing a part. So take the average female out and insert wife there, and insert robber. Do you have a choice at that point? You think that you would have a choice, but you really don't. Mentally, you think you would have a choice, but you don't have a choice in that sense.
You don't.
In that scenario, you don't, because the wife is someone you cherish. My whole thing is this, right?
She's your possession, bruh.
If I was in the room with a complete stranger of a dude who's not my boy, not my friend, not you know what I mean? Not in not in the IBBC, and dude says somebody gotta die, I ain't making that sacrifice for this dude. I don't know him. But let it be a female I don't know.
I'm still not making a sacrifice.
And I walk away.
Yeah.
Female gets killed.
Well,
how does society view that?
Yeah, I think they view it the same way as the female who don't want to have a kid.
Bullshit.
I think it's viewed the same way.
Women do this shit every day. Nobody slanders them for it. Women have no kids every day.
Women are taking control of the narrative of being childless, bruh. They have taken that narrative.
Okay, all right. So then
whereas men are still being upheld to those traditional standards of being protected.
Who you know shaming Oprah?
Nobody.
Who you know you're shaming Ellen?
Well, no, come on now. Ellen is
I'm just saying.
But okay, so I will say this. See, I mean, I guess it is. I don't know, man. I still feel like it's a choice. I understand the whole concept of people gonna look down on me, but like, yo, if society is gonna look down on me because I did not want to save somebody's life, I don't know what to tell you. I'm just gonna be looked down upon.
During World War II, there were women that were walking around, men that did not, that dodged the draft, whatever, or did not want to sign up for the draft or for war, this, that, and the other. There were women that were going around, giving these men white feathers, like chicken feathers,
shaming them,
denote them as being cowards.
Mm-hmm.
That's how fucked up it was.
But also, back then the rules were a lot more defined.
Might be defined, but the whole thing is, from then you never had any power. When a man tried to say, I have a choice, I'm not doing this, I'm not going to die for no bullshit war I don't believe in, when some politicians are sitting in a nice, comfy office and making a decision on my life.
So but then back then, I feel like, again, if the woman decided that I'm not going to take care of the household, I'm not going to have kids, they would be looked at the same exact way. Like back then, yes. I think so.
Back then, yes. I'll give you that.
Yeah, back then they would be looked at like that,
Yeah, I'll give you that.
But to answer the question...
To answer the question,
I think...
Is it safe to say men are more selfless when it comes to progressing society forward?
Yeah, absolutely.
Shu, Smith?
Yes and no.
No, you got to choose one.
Huh?
You got to choose one, Shu. You can't say yes and no.
It's a yes and no, because here's the thing. Are men selfless in the sense of they're doing it for the better, for the sacrifice for a woman? No. for moving society forward and moving the world forward. No, that's just the way men typically are. Like, you know, whether you're talking about your tribe, your culture, your neighborhood, your clique, your gang, you're always trying to help your group move forward. So it's, in a sense, it's not really selfless because it is part of your tribe, your group.
I wonder if like,
in the sense that at the end of the day, we know what men are trying to do. They're not necessarily trying to move society forward. They're trying to get rich.
Yeah.
Trying to get rich. If it happens to help society along the way, then so be it. If you can take something from this of me getting rich, then so be it. But I'm not really trying to help move nobody forward. I mean, I look at cancer and say, how the hell we don't have a cure for cancer in itself? You know what I mean? I just say it's so long, there's so much money put into it, and you're not to have a goddamn cure for it. It's like it got to be more to it.
The niggas is you got
interesting perspective.
Oh, that's only because people don't understand how cancer works.
Well, they got
cancer
more.
Ain't nothing but retarded cells.
They got more. You living longer with AIDS than you are with cancer, and AIDS is supposed to be the #1 killer.
Yeah,
Magic Johnson's still around.
Magic Johnson's still around. Yeah.
All right, what's the next question, fellas? I didn't select the first two.
Is there? I think the I just want to throw the question in with the disadvantage between men and women.
Wait, I gotta before you go into that question, there was that piece in talking about the pregnancy. I still don't like it, and it was the book was talking about it. But the fact that I can choose to get pregnant, right? Because it's my body and my choice, right? I can choose to be pregnant. And Kel doesn't have a choice of whether I get pregnant or not. I can keep this child from Kel and then hold Kelvin responsible when I deem necessary to hold him responsible because it's my choice, my body. And although he is the father of the child, he never has to see this child anything. And I decide 15 years down the road, I want you to start paying now and go for retroactive child support.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Fucking bullshit, bro.
Yeah.
That is
yeah.
Bullshit. Definitely happens.
It happens a lot.
It happens.
Oh, here's how bad it happens. Did you ever see that one case on the news where a brother down in Chicago, where, you know, cops come knocking at his door saying they got a warrant for his arrest? He's like, for what? And he's like, they're like, for child support. Child support, I ain't got no kids. Come to find out there's a 12-year-old child, you know, 12-year-old child, some girl he used to bang with back in the day, whatever the case was. Girl wasn't pregnant by a dude. Whole thing is she wanted to get on public assistance and she had to put a name down. So she put his name down.
I remember you
Even though she illegally put this man's name down.
Yeah.
And even though they did a DNA test and found out that the kid wasn't dude, they were still trying to hold him liable.
Yeah.
That is crazy as hell.
That's crazy.
Another liable.
Bruh. I remember a story out of
why suicide rate is higher.
It's like the homicide and suicide rate.
Yeah.
That motherfucker be taking out that baby mama out and himself out.
Oh, by the way, Kels, let me ask you a question. If you were in that situation, you know, would you have been like, but she made such a sacrifice having that child?
No, I would have said I want him. So that way I ain't gotta pay. That's what's up. I'm gonna fight you for custody. No, that's what we doing. Split it right down the middle.
I ain't mad.
I ain't mad at you. You might not win that case though, bro.
I was gonna say
because you didn't spend that child didn't spend the first 12 years with the mom.
That's fine. So I'll pay. No, we good. I'll pay that back support, and then you paying for the next 6 years.
No, you going to pay going forward too.
No, because I'm taking him now. Now I want. Are we doing joint custody?
They're gonna do that split custody.
They can do split custody, Henry, and you're still paying child support.
Well, here's my thing. No,
really works.
Smith. Here's my thing.
This was really eye opening in this book for me.
No, I know.
Shit that was similar. You still will be on the hook to pay.
Listen, what I'm saying.
It doesn't matter.
So for me, I would think, and this is just my perception. A female who's doing something like that gotta be some hood chick who's on some bullshit. So like,
trailer park.
So I already
white women in this.
I'm sure this, but
and the courts is gonna side with the parent who can provide. I think they provide the one who can provide the most stable household. Like
man, I think you had there's too much faith in the court system, bro.
You have way too much faith in the court system.
You had way too much. It does not work like that, bro.
You have way too much.
The court system does not work on logic and reasoning.
Yeah.
Hell no.
All right, it does not work on logic and reasoning at all.
There was a story out in Kentucky where a lesbian couple, they went to the sperm bank, and usually those sort of arrangements is, you have no idea who's the sperm donor is. That shit's supposed to be all confidential. It is what it is. I forget the details. It's kind of grainy in my memory in regards of how that shit worked out. They tracked the dude down and put him on child support.
Child support, bro.
We're gonna find this article, bro. It was by far one of the craziest shit I heard.
I remember that.
I thought in that situation, though, I thought in that situation that they have to sign like a confidentiality where. But
that's what I'm saying, and that's what was so crazy about it. Despite that,
yeah,
they still put him on child support.
Despite the fact that you're not supposed to file me, you're not supposed to know why.
Exactly.
Despite that.
Matter of fact, there's a dude out in New York impregnated a whole bunch of chicks on some other shit. I don't know what the fuck his mental's about. He's like a professor of some sort. And he didn't sign all of this agreement saying I ain't gonna be on the hook for child support. And now these chicks are turning around I'm gonna put you on child support.
You ain't talking about she hate me.
Nah, bro, it's a white Jewish dude going around fucking impregnating bitches.
Gotta spread that seed, bro. Gotta spread that seed. Did we get to the question? Was that the question? Or did Smith jump in on that?
That was Smith jumping in on that.
Okay, my bad. I didn't know.
I ain't gonna front that. This book has been something else in the first 4 chapters. What was Schubert? Your question?
No, my question was: is there a real disadvantage for females versus physical strength?
You ain't beyond that.
In the way society is, thinking about how females are in all different types of positions. They have a college education and vote. The head of the Republican Party is a woman. The not the vice president, the Speaker of the House is a woman. Oprah is one of the richest people on the planet.
Beyonce, Michelle Obama.
There you go. So is being a female really a disadvantage in today's society?
Nah. Nah.
I don't think it's a disadvantage. I think females tend to have. I would actually give them a step up right now and say they kind of got a leg up on men. People wouldn't agree with me with that. But I'm talking about in 2020. I think that they definitely can take full advantage of anything that a male can take advantage of.
Yeah, I think the only disadvantage, and I don't even know how prevalent it is, would just be maybe sometimes in a workforce where it's okay, I'm not gonna hire her, but
you got CEOs of their own companies, so I don't need you to hire me. I go to a CEO of female and get hired there. The only disadvantage they have is that they haven't become president of the United States of America yet.
Not yet.
To your point, though, Cal.
Free world, that's it.
Yeah, but to your point, Cal, they set that situation up themselves. Like Dr. Farrell said, they put themselves in that bind, in that conundrum, in regards of not being hired.
Well, no, I'm not talking about for them not being qualified for the job. I'm just saying, and even when you take I get the whole, the female makes less, but then what about the single female? There is no balance where it's my husband makes $1, I make 77 cents. I ain't got no husband. So
even with that, man, we got to push back on that narrative, because he even referenced a book that he written regarding the truth about that wealth gap in that
wealth gap.
Yeah, he's saying we need to stop. We gotta when we hear those talking points, we have an obligation to squash that shit.
And he also says the reason that you're hearing it is because the females are talking about it and the males aren't.
Exactly.
That's why you're hearing it.
That's why you're hearing it.
We're not saying anything.
Yeah, we're not saying anything. We just shrug our shoulders all right, whatever, because we don't necessarily get into that catty sort of conversation But like, yo, we got an obligation now.
Like, hands down, Henry, if you work 15 years as a female for North Board of Education and you work 15 years as a male from North Board of Education, is your salary different?
No, but our salaries are set.
I'm just saying.
Okay, so here's the thing. The thing that women always seem to point out, and my little sister did this with me when she argued me, she pointed out a small, minute area and try to put it across the board with the whole entire thing. So the statistic is men make $1, women make 77 cents to that dollar. And that's across the board. But the whole thing is, that's not looking at the jobs that men take on, such as construction workers, garbage men that pay higher, versus taking on the job of, let's say, a teacher or a clerk or something, right? So, they don't look at that statistic. They correlate that statistic with when they hear this little thing about, women in corporate America, like at AT&T, have been paid less versus men. Not looking at the fact that in corporate America, salaries are negotiable, and men tend to negotiate harder because guess what? Men have more on the line. Men know the fact of, listen, if I don't get this high salary, I ain't shit. Versus women, they're like, you'll pay me 77. I'll be all right with that. I'm okay with that. It's not, you know what I mean? They're not as go-getters when it comes to that. So the whole thing is they don't actually look at what the entire statistic says. They correlate the statistic to small, minute stories like that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know why that straight across the board.
You know why that male going hard too? Because as
you got to pay for that date
in the book, he gotta pay for 2 families.
Peacocking. Go ahead, Shu. That peacocking.
Not just peacocking. He got to pay for 2 families.
Yeah.
He got to pay for his family. Remember, he was talking about it. I took this family of 3 kids up to the ski trip, and I paid.
Yeah, he dropped $1,000.
Wait a minute. I stopped going out with the young lady because I got my own family. That I went through this divorce, and I still got to support this other family.
You gotta make better decisions, bro.
So guess what? I can't be in love because I don't got enough money.
You gotta make.
So we're gonna negotiate harder because we feel like we gotta protect Henry. We still feel like we gotta protect. Can come through and more finances, and we feel like sometimes when we have more finances, we can protect you better because we can give you better things, better lifestyles.
No, that situation. You need to find you another chick.
But that's the section on the spending obligation makes me think about the article that you sent out a couple of weeks, man. And I knew intuitively that article was some bullshit, but I couldn't necessarily dispute it. This book dispute every fucking talking point in that fucking.
You know the part that was crazy to me, the part where they sort of tied the sex into it about how like it was preached that you should wait longer. And how that turned into more dates, and how that turned into spending more money because the guy wanted to get it in with the chick. And I'm saying, like, I always wonder where that whole idea of like, okay, I'm gonna wait for this long or that long before I get it in. This dude definitely did come from a different perspective.
That idea comes in from what he's talking about, where the female is taught to marry up, man.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the whole idea, marry up. And he also broke down. Do you ever look at a female talk about marrying down? And does a male marry down?
Or parallel?
Yeah. Men always marry down.
Oh, we always do.
Yeah.
We always marry down.
Yeah.
Nigga, upgrade you is my theme song.
Upgrade, that's it.
That's your theme song?
That's it.
All right.
Yo, how about what's fucking with the I don't want to go off on the tangent, man. Let's stick to the question. Yo, just the whole idea how this thing took it back to biblical terms, or not biblical, but how polygyny started, where it was like a husband had more than one wife because they wanted the wife to basically be protected. So instead of putting them with the broke dude,
it still says it now.
So instead of the broke dude having one wife, the rich dude got 2, so that the chick don't gotta be with the broke dude.
That is still a rule in Islam right now.
Yeah,
a man can have as many women as he can afford.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what you
like that in India as well.
Can't afford no women.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got to take care of my wife, and I got to take care of my mistress.
So what's the rule for the woman with the husband? So why can't so what's up with the flip side where the woman making how much bread she can't have more than one husband?
You said what?
Well, the problem with that is no husband is gonna like be a homemaker in that situation. Like, what the fuck is the responsibility of the husband in that situation?
I mean, what's the difference?
I mean, listen, I hear what you're saying, but the whole thing was, once again, even if you were talking about the scenario where the dude is taking care of 10 chicks, all 10 chicks had a well-financed dude that could provide them with a certain type of lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it boiled down to. All right? That's what it boiled down to. And guess what? If there's 10 chicks, he ain't banging them all every day. I mean, he ain't banging them all every day. So it's like, they're not doing all that much work. And if you got 10 chicks, and from my understanding from one Islamic family I know, where basically the first wife is like the bottom bitch. Like she calls shots. All right, she tells wife number 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 what to do. It's like, all right, number 2, you're gonna take care of the kids. Number 3, you're gonna clean the bathroom. Number 4, she like the boss of all of that. So there's a whole system involved in all of that. So once again, it's still like running a corporation almost, where in a way, one woman doesn't have to take care of all of his sexual needs. One woman doesn't have to take care of all the kids. One woman doesn't. So because it's spread out, it's still not a horrible deal. It's just the fact that you just ain't getting as much dick as you may like. That's pretty much, it's pretty much.
Yeah, but what's
that financial household situation like, Shu? Like, is he pulling in that much bread?
Yeah, he got to be doing that. I mean,
the dude that I know that has 5 wives, he is pulling in guap.
You gotta have that.
Yeah, you have to understand that the wives are going to stay because of the man being providing.
Mm-hmm.
All right? Like, not for nothing, something that also made me say, damn, that's different. I ain't never look at it like that. Lot of his daughters, you know what I mean? His daughters taking advantage of him because no men would lie with them, so they got their father drunk and slept with him.
Yeah, that Jacob story. I was like, God damn.
Yeah, and the Bible, and God didn't have a problem with that. God didn't have a problem with it because he understood that they was able to keep their legacy, their
That's crazy. The family name. Yeah, that's
family name.
That's crazy.
Like, that shit's weird. Yeah.
That's a double standard like a motherfucker.
Not a weird and double standard.
During that time, it truly was a patriarchy. During that time, it truly was a patriarchy. But at the same token, it was a patriarchy, like my man said, stage 1 survival.
Yeah.
Stage 1 survival, yeah.
I'll tell you what, my man's, the dad who lied about you worked for me for 7 years, you can marry my daughter, he would have had to die, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Like, there's no way.
And then set him up. He's like, if you want Rachel for another...
You got to go another 7 years.
Yeah.
No, but hold up. How my man going to work 7 years? And I know he had to see this chick for 7 years in the household, this, that, and the other. Then when it came down to the nookie, my man took her home, married her, banged her, and like, oh, wait a minute, this is the wrong chick.
Yeah.
How does that happen?
That's how that works. And
No. At the day of the wedding, when he took the veil off, he saw that it was not the chick that he desired.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, it's like, how you didn't figure that out before?
He should have put that. He should put that in writing.
Yeah. But those were crazy times, bro.
Yeah, crazy
I think the father was just trying to extort more work out of him, bro. That's all that shit was.
Yeah.
Was
that the same situation where he was like, "Yo, you gotta get it in with the maid too"?
Well, he took.
Oh yeah. Because like the whole thing is, Rebecca couldn't have a baby.
Couldn't have a male son. Couldn't have a son.
Have a son, yeah.
Please.
So she said, "Hey, take my handmaiden," and then then the first system, you could bang my handmaiden.
So he found himself married to 4 broads and had like 15 kids or some crazy.
13.
13, yeah.
13.
That situation turned all types of fucked up.
Hey.
All types of bizarre.
I think he only ended up with 1 daughter. Thank you, baby.
I'm just trying to understand why Like, hold up. How did these chicks have maids?
That's a
Yo.
good question. I didn't even think about that.
The dad had
Like,
money.
yo.
The dad had money,
Like, I'm
man.
like, where did they get maids from? Each one of them had their own maid. Like, you can have my maid. No, you can have my maid. Hold up. Didn't my man, or if my man's the man in the household, was he already paying these maids one day? His maid?
Nah, the
I don't
dad.
get it. How does that work?
The dad had money, man. He only wanted the other daughter to be hooked up because she was ugly. That's why he lied. He said she was homely.
Yeah, she was
That
home.
money.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
That money, everybody get a maid.
All right, what question we have? Shoes question. Do you as a man have power in your life, whether it be at work, home, or in society?
Yes. I think
All three?
I got less at work right now because my boss is a female. But at home, yeah. In society, I don't know, man. I
Well,
think
go
the
with
one.
my man's definition of power.
Yeah, I like that's the
Definition of
thing.
power.
Yeah.